Hi YouTube! My name is Linda Rose, for those of you who don't know me, which would probably be all of you because this is my very first video on YouTube ever. Recently I posted on my Instagram a photo and it was of the world map. On it I had mapped all the trips I took in 2017, listed like basically all the stats of my travel, listed that I had been to 12 different countries and I had been to 3 different continents and I went on over 55 flights, and I didn't really talk about this, but a good portion of those flights were first class. The reason why I decided to make a video about this is because a lot of people have been asking me, how are you traveling so much? I realized that it doesn't seem like there's a lot of information about how I travel. There are a ton of cheap budget tips, tips for traveling cheap, tips for traveling blah blah, but the way I do it is different from the videos I've seen, so I decided to make a video explaining that. One of the best ways to travel for cheap is super simple: working for an airline. That's it, working for an airline. Honestly, I don't know why I don't see very many videos about this. There are a ton of different airlines out there that you can work for. I'm not allowed to say where I work or the airline I work for, but I can say it's a pretty great airline. Honestly, the amount of flights, unbelievable. For me personally, I get 33 domestic flight segments, which means from one airport to the other airport is a segment. Then on top of the domestic flights, I have 18 international segments. 18 transoceanic, transatlantic, whatever, 18 of those bad boys. That is a lot of flights. Not only do I have those flights, but my parents have those flights, each having their own amount of flights that they are allowed to fly. My husband has those flights. When I travel, it doesn't deduct his. When he travels, it doesn't deduct mine. Same with my parents. If we had kids, they would be able to travel. Amazing. I don't know why nobody else is talking about this, but it's amazing and I think it's great. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the excitement, the fast pace. I enjoy meeting people and connecting with people and helping people too. If you love that kind of work, or if you just love to travel, I would suggest, highly suggest, if you can, work for an airline. And I know this option is not for everybody. Some of you have full-time jobs that you just cannot spare a couple of days. I did work as a full-time social worker while I was working at the airport that I work at. That was crazy, but I did it and it worked. And there's a ton of my coworkers that do it and it works. If you need it, if you want it, you can do it. The type of travel is a little bit different than normal traveling. I want to explain this to you. So the type of flights that you get that are free flights for you are called standby flights or non-rev travels. Non-rev because you are not paying for your flights. Even the international flights, you are not paying for your actual flights. And I'll get into the fees that go along with that later. I want you to think about it basically as if you were hitchhiking in the sky. That's really what you're doing. So if there is a plane and it's headed the direction you want to go, it has seats on there, you can hop on that flight. Sometimes you have to be super creative because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you get stuck and then you have to find your way to hop on another plane to make your way. It's crazy, but it's doable and I love it. You are able to travel first class with these kind of seats. If there are first class seats available, you can get those first class seats. Most of my international flights have been first class if they were with my airline. If they're with another airline, you have to pay a small fee to travel on their plane. So it's a little bit different, but for my own airline, it's completely free. The only thing I have to pay for international flights are taxes for the country that I'm going to or coming from. Some countries are different. Some of them I've had to pay like $40. Some of them I don't have to pay anything to get there, but I just have to pay to enter back into the country of the US. So it really depends where you're going, where you're coming from, and you can be very creative in making a route where you have to pay the least amount of money to get back. How many days a week do I work? I personally only work 2 days a week. Only 2 days a week gives me the option of having these flights. And the best benefit about this is I don't even have to pay upfront for any fees. If there are any fees at all, like for the international flights, I don't have to pay upfront. It comes out of my paycheck slowly over time. Domestic flights, again, are 100% free. No fees whatsoever if it's with my airline. International flights, again, the only fees I have to pay for are for taxes. So for me, like flying to Korea cost me $30. That's a round trip. Flying to Paris cost me $40. I think it was $40 or $50. $40. Like, come on. Zed fares are basically when you are flying on a different airline, they're giving you permission to fly, you pay a very small fee. So every airline's different. I can't really talk about that too much because every airline's different, but they can be extremely cheap. I mean, I'm talking like $50 fly from England to Paris, or $40 to fly from Korea to Canada. Super dirt cheap. If you can spare a couple days a week, some of them, each station is different. Sometimes you have to work 2 days a week. Sometimes you have to work 1 day a week. Every station is different. Every airline is different. So I would suggest that you go into the station that you want to work at, go to the airline that you want to work at, and talk to them and see if they have any openings. Quickly before I forget, you do not have to be a flight attendant or a pilot to get these benefits. I am not. There are a ton of different positions that you can do besides being a flight attendant to get these flight benefits. So I just work at a ticket counter. I'm the lady who says, "Good morning, how are you today? Where are you flying today? How many bags will you be checking in? Thank you so much for flying." Even if you are the guy pushing the plane back or waving the little wands, you know, that guy is flying for free. So even the person who's cleaning the plane gets free flights. I mean, if you've got time in the morning before your other job, or you could do it in the evening, you could do it on the weekends, you can make it work. You can make it work if that's what you want to do. Number 1, I know this is not for everybody, but if it's for you, number 2, go to your local airport and ask the airline about jobs. Number 3, work there a couple days a week and get free flights. Number 4, fly everywhere for free or for super duper duper dirt cheap. Number 5, you can also fly other airlines and pay a small fee to fly on their airlines, and there are no limits for that. So, number 6, have fun. Hitchhike in the sky, be safe, and have fun. Don't forget, subscribe if you like my channel. Subscribe if you like my channel. Subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Comment below any questions you have. Comment below anything that you want me to talk about next time. Our life is about to get crazy. My husband and I have a super, super amazing adventure up ahead, and I cannot wait to share with you guys so you guys can follow along. So don't forget to subscribe so you can hear more about what's happening. Ciao! Don't forget, subscribe.